Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, September 24, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We talk about the subconscious mind. It's kind of like our recorder. It literally records everything in this life. And it plays it back. Whatever the conscious mind thinks and believes, the subconscious identically creates. Brian Adams. There is a way of living your life that is so conscious, so purely intentional and alive, that you are guaranteed to manifest the life you desire. It happens when you understand and practice the basic manifesting principles of this universe. The first is that your thoughts create your reality. We know that. In every moment. And that we are pure consciousness behind each thought. We may choose or not choose to entertain. This revolutionary, empowering consciousness is already here now. When we stop all efforting, scheming, and trying to find or create it, we instantly see the simple fact that it is here right now. If and when we want to become richer, more lovable, successful, or even more conscious, that is all fine and dandy. Just know that these are ideas and not the potent, powerful essence of who we are. They're just ideas. Consciousness instantly reveals itself when we realize that we are not this mind or its desires. The pure state of consciousness is unfolding our version of reality for us to enjoy. As we decide to perceive it in each moment, all around us, it loves you that much. Just surrender to it and investigate this pure consciousness that's here now, and how there is nothing we can do to change it. The reason this life can be so challenging is because one main obstacle. We get over-identified with the mind and certain thoughts that it becomes attached to or avoids. The mind can get hooked like Velcro to certain roles, ideas, feelings, memories, and experiences that make us feel trapped. It's like a spider caught in its own web. The more it struggles, the more wrapped up and stuck it gets. The only way out of this mind trap is to surrender to the source of who we are. One of the greatest secrets to untangling ourselves and spinning a new web around us is in exploring the truth of what and who we really are. If you just practice using the mind to free the mind from all the thoughts it's been wrapped up in and attached to, you just get more mental activity. Instead of playing the game of the mind, start dismantling it. Let the mind weave the web it wants to weave, yet choose to focus on the light and consciousness within. This is the most enlightening and empowering place to be, and will greatly increase our manifesting vibration, our frequencies, our harmonics. We will become super manifesting magnets for what we want. So be wise about choosing what you want. The experiences that you'll attract to you can only bring you into a more enlightened perspective when you abide in the knowledge that consciousness is natural, effortless, and the essential, eternal state of what and who you really are. Be curious about this consciousness. If you think that you know it, let that thought go. It's just a thought, and not actually pure consciousness itself. Drop all ideas about who you truly are and liberate yourself completely. This consciousness is truly unknowable and cannot be pinned down as something that you understand once and are forever done with it. It is as infinite as this universe, and is here for you to explore throughout your entire lifetime. Your job is to gently unfold it and to discover this dynamic divine being that you already are. This consciousness is the God source, and it is everywhere. The secret to discovering it is in being vulnerable, open, receptive to this moment. Be honest with yourself about what your experience is, and then let that experience go. If resistance is there, become that wall and let it go. Explore every experience that arises, until it's finished. Your life will become more rich and juicy and full of aliveness. Consciousness is not cold, hard, or rigid by any means. It contains a sacred warmth that you'll only find in the heart of it. This love is the love of your essence. It is already inside your heart right here and now. You surrender to what is true and real. You might want to try every morning, take about 20 minutes or so, to become completely still, silent, and relax into this pure consciousness. This may be the hardest or easiest thing that you've ever explored. So if you first don't find it, just relax deeper. It is already always here now. All it takes is total surrender to what is. That's it. Total surrender to what is. Find the center of the cyclone of life, and you'll discover deep, profound peace. It's everything outside of us that we create. It's like this big, huge, swirling storm. And it has everything in it. Our minds actually, they act like a storm of energy and information spewing out all sorts of thoughts and ideas about the world. It can make the world around you seem chaotic, exciting, boring, or way too much to handle. Your mind is like an overused machine that never gets a break and is always very, very, very busy. All day long it's spinning around its thoughts, chattering 1,000 miles an hour about this and that. It's as if your mind is caught in its own cranks, wheels, and gears, spinning in the same patterns for years, and that it once created. If and when you're caught in the whirling mind, these turbulent thoughts can make your life appear as if it is off course. It can't feel like you are being tossed in many. It can feel like you are being tossed in many different directions, as your mind can throw out random harsh thoughts at you like, hurry up. What did you say to that? Why did you say that? You don't have time for this. Get a real life. Why did you mess that up? Get back to work. What am I having for dinner? The mind can be rude, mean, and make you feel inadequate. It can take you down these roads of thinking that can make you think there is no happiness inside. Living in the mind is utterly, truly, and completely exhausting. It's a good thing that there are many ways to get off. When each of these thoughts slamming into you, right? With each of these thoughts slamming into you, you may notice that you have the choice to react to them or just watch them sail by. By reacting to all the crazy mind chatter, you will be thrown back into the tornado of life. By reacting to all the crazy mind chatter, you will be thrown back into the tornado of life. If you choose instead to sit back from your mind, become the observer, you will discover that you can create a comfortable distance from every thought that passes by. Finding this observer in you is where you become the master of the winds of your psyche. Set the intention right now to recognize the personal nature of your typical storm. You may notice, what are the concerns, responsibilities, and fears created by your mind? How they are truly an illusion. There is really nothing that has to be done. You are connected with existence, and that is enough. You don't have to do anything or be someone special to continue to exist. Your mind may believe that something important needs to get done or else you will die. Yet, this is the type of fear-based thinking that creates those 300 miles an hour winds and a hurricane lifestyle. The truth is that we all are complete, whole, truly perfect exactly as we are now in this very moment. We don't have to do a thing to be perfect. We were born divine. No matter what happens in the chaotic outer world, our divine inner nature will always remain untouched, undamaged, and complete. Believe this for 24 hours straight and see what happens. You don't have to do a thing to be perfect. You were born divine, no matter what happens in the chaotic outer world. Your divine inner nature will always remain untouched, undamaged, and complete. Believe this for 24 hours and see what happens. We have a choice. We can either suffer in this storm or not suffer. We no longer have to suffer in this storm. We can find the oasis of calm that lies at the middle of each moment. The secret is to learn how to quiet the mind and reconnect with your divine nature. The easiest way to do this is to remain present to what is. This can be mastered through learning meditation. The more you meditate, the more you realize that you are not your mind and that you are infinite and untouched by any winds blowing around you. Practicing meditation means simply sitting in silence, watching the crazy mind chatter as it comes and goes. It is like sitting and watching the distant clouds move across a peaceful blue sky background. Your true eternal essence is the blue sky, and your thoughts are the clouds. The more you observe these thoughts without buying into them or getting caught up in them, the more you detach and find this vast, infinite stillness inside of you. Over time, you will be able to recognize the silliness of getting caught in the mind and become truly freed from its grasp. It will be a glorious day when we remain centered no matter what crazy storm is brewing around us. Now, if you've tried meditation, it just hasn't worked for you, then try a different way of meditating. Slow down whatever action you're doing and be more present to the experience. You can do a walking meditation, an eating meditation, drinking meditation, non-alcohol, of course. showering meditation, or even doing the dishes meditation. Don't give up on training your mind to find peace inside. It will be worth everything in the end. If you have become so fixated on your thoughts that slowing down doesn't work, then it's time to use stronger disciplinary measures. Several times a day, at random, this week, try this mind-stopping experience. Take a deep breath into your body. It's okay to take a deep breath right now. And before you exhale, whisper the message, stop, into your mind. Release the breath, and then let your body become solid and completely still like a stone statue. Let the breathing slow way down to where you may even stop breathing for a few moments and explore this stillness. Show the mind that you are the boss here, and let the frozen-like energy cease all physical activity inside. When the body finds stillness, the mind will soon follow. Just let everything come to a complete halt and bring your attention inside on who or what is looking. While it may take only 30 seconds or more to find the calm, present, eternal observer, these moments are worth the price of finding peace in the center of your cyclone. You live, you love, you lose, you learn, and someday you might laugh, Anonymous. There is something extremely magical happening right now, in this very moment of your life. You may not be aware of it or care to take notice, yet it is here, and it continues to go on, being magical all the time. It happens so frequently, that it can seem normal, obvious, and typical, which is why we might tend to overlook it every day. Yet truly, this magical thing is more amazing than the mind can fully believe or comprehend. This miraculous thing I'm talking about is your life, and it is happening inside of you, through you, to you, and for you, right now. There is a perpetual creation of the experience of you occurring, just for you to enjoy you. There's not much you can do about it. The best thing to do is to just let go and completely surrender yourself to the experience. On a physical level, there are millions of miniature life-giving processes happening inside your body right now. There are energies that are keeping your heart beating, your lungs breathing, your hair growing, your teeth from decaying, and allowing your heart to relax and sleep tonight. Your diaphragm is pulling in a continual flow of oxygenating energy into your lungs, while your body is pumping blood to trillions of cells, lovingly transporting the great river of life, giving energy to every cell throughout your body. In this moment, as you're sitting here, listening, and understanding, billions of brain cells are being engaged in understanding these concepts. It is only in this now moment that you can find this miraculous experience called life and discover where it's coming from. When we stop to appreciate all of the wonderful things that are actually occurring in our lives, this highly sensitive extensory perception begins opening within you. So we have extrasensory perception that begins opening within us. we begin feeling and sensing the divinity that is behind every breath and heartbeat. This sweet sensitivity increases to the point where we can feel the vibrant matrix of intelligence that is weaving itself through all thoughts and things. It's amazing what a little appreciation for life can open up in us. When we start to be grateful for all the little things that we usually take for granted, we can begin to see, smell, taste, and hear the deeper meaning of our existence. It becomes possible to actually know on a spiritual level why we are here and what is the true meaning of our life. We see that everything that is happening around us is actually a miracle because we realize that we also are a miracle. Perhaps one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves is the experience of conscious awareness. We can watch the mind think, perceive, and make up all sorts of explanations about ourselves and our life. We can see that when we make the slightest, most subtle shift in our perception of reality, our entire attitude and exploration of life changes. It changes. Our body responds differently to stimuli that it once believed was threatening. And we find an entirely new reason for being alive. The mind is the greatest inventor of lies. It never actually sees the truth in all its perfection. It can only see fragments of the truth, catch a glimpse of it here and there, and try to capture it with some fixed yet random creative expression. It is always making up stories about other people, this world, ourselves, and the way that life is. It makes these enormous, glorious assumptions to courageously capture the truth and fit it into a beautiful box that others can appreciate and praise. Yet the truth is too big for the mind to contain. The truth is everything in this universe that is here now. The mind can only hold on to two things: the past and the future. The mind cannot just be here now in the present. The moment the mind completely surrenders into the burning fire of the now, all grasping disappears. And all of our suffering created by the mind is gone. The singer exists only in singing. The walker exists only in walking. So is the ego. The ego exists only in clinging, in possessing things, in dominating things. When there is no domination, no desire to dominate, no desire to cling, no desire to possess, the ego starts evaporating. Osho. Now, if you wish to experience the truly miraculous being that you are and get a taste of the amazing life that's yours to enjoy, you must drop the mind. You must choose to give up completely and let go of all clinging to its righteous beliefs and ways of thinking. That is the only way to be truly alive. Otherwise, we're just living in tomorrow or yesterday, missing out on this wondrous moment of life. The true you can only be found here, in this now moment, and one day this body and mind will be gone, which is why this experience of your life is so very precious. Our life is so precious. Take the time today to truly enjoy you being here, right now, and totally alive. How often do you appreciate the opportunity that you have just to experience what it is like to be alive. This appreciation is your ticket to freedom. It is the main vehicle for liberating ourselves from the mind and its many prisons. To see, feel, smell the divinity within all things. You must choose to drop all attachment to the mind and its entanglements. You must choose to merge with it. Find peace with the mind within you. Just imagine that you are the sun and the mind is a small, hard comet heading towards you, about to get burned up in the sun's sacred fire. So my invitation for you right now is enormous. Stop trying to get anywhere. Just drop the mind and see how much you can really enjoy this day that you are still alive. In this very moment, you are still here. Who knows about the next moment? Remember this and choose to do everything you can to be radically alive. So my request here is not that you try and push yourself further into your known list of sensory pleasures, mental distractions, or physical addictions. I'm challenging you to go deeper into your aliveness, your spiritual nature. Find a deeper, more authentic joy inside of you, one that contains a deep, healing relaxation within it. I want you to find the peace that is within your soul. It is here now and will help you transcend every hidden anxiety and self-sabotaging behavior you have had. You've got to want this. You've got to want to become so alive, so vibrating with life, that you suddenly realize that you cannot hold on to all your worries and fears, that they are no longer your priority. Imagine, how would it feel to be so relaxed and excited about your life, living in this magical body-mind vehicle you are in, that you forget all insecurity and fear? What if the main mission of your life was to do this? What if finding absolute unending joy was as simple as being fully here now, welcoming this sacred moment, and whatever the experience is giving you? What if the goal of your life was to cherish yourself in each precious moment, as if this was the first or last moment of your life? How would you live this day differently if this was your truth? Did you know the transition of the word sin? We've talked about this before. It means that to miss the target. You kind of look at life as if it's a game of darts, where the bullseye target is being fully here in this now moment. This is where the divinity, our divine essence, is found. It is the only place in space it is discovered. So why be anywhere else? It is just the habit of the mind to be somewhere other than here now. When you take your eye off the target for an instant, you miss the goal of your life completely. When you are relaxed, open, present, and fully surrendered to what is here now, you can trust life, enjoy being held by life, and hit the target each time. The one thing that will always bring you into the now is your body and your breath. You can practice listening to your body intimately. Feel into how it is breathing into you this week. Really listen. What is it telling you? The body does not lie. And it's going to clue you in on an entire collaboration of vital information that you really need to know. Listen super closely. as if it were whispering to you from a place very far away. Notice what is the one message it has for you right now. It is pointing you inside, deeper inside, to the point of absolute relaxation, totally dissolving all tension, where you can find real inner peace. It is through your body that you will find the real you, who is forever intimately connected with this universe. When you practice listening to your body, letting go of the chit-chat your mind, you start to hear these subtle messages from this universe that guide you through the daily matrix of life. This universe will show you how to get through this life, how to navigate your way into finding heaven on earth, which is you. This is your purpose for being here, to find heaven is here. In this now moment, when you deeply relax into yourself, into your life exactly as it is, you can discover the greatest miracle of all. You can trust that you are on the right path in every moment of your existence. You just see, feel, and deeply accept that you cannot get off the path, no matter what you do. This is true because you are the path. The path is before you, beneath you, and right where you are. Walking on the path, you see everyone is perfect, just the way they are. You begin noticing that everyone fits into the grand perfection with all of their many imperfections. Realize the great miracle of them all is always here. Here, the most magical source of living is discovered. The real intimacy with life, the meeting of the divine with the mundane, in every ordinary and extraordinary experience. Liberation is not far away. It is just hidden behind you. Once you're authentic, the door opens. We can be such liars, pretenders, hypocrites, so deeply false. That's why we feel liberation is very far away. It is not. For an authentic being, liberation is just natural as anything. Osho. It's necessary to make your mind a prayer, the heart full of love, and every breath a melody of devotion. Then the soul becomes a glorified song of compassion, mercy, understanding, and humility. Annalise Guerin. One of the most beautiful experiences in this life is the feeling of devotion. When we are truly devoted, we've released the selfish agenda of our ego and are surrendered to something much greater than ourselves. We've given up every imperative need to get something back in return for our practice of giving and are simply enjoying the sensation of being liberated from our perpetual list of demands and needs. We could say that the greatest lovers in the world are those who can relax into the deepest feeling of devotion within their heart, which is attuned to a love that transcends all conditions, agendas, and limitations. The energy of devotion can take on many forms. We can be devoted to a lifestyle, a person, way of being, project, or even achieving a desired goal. The experience between being devoted and committed is something to something, is within the quality of the experience. Commitment is more of a mental excursion, while devotion is a journey through the heart. Through devotion, there is this continual undercurrent of love which flows through every thought, feeling, and word uttered. The love it radiates holds this juicy, heart-opening quality, connecting your mind to your soul, allowing you to taste the sweet, luscious flavor of your own divine existence. When we practice being the energy of devotion, we are feeding the heart with a joy that has no end to it. This ultimately brings real satisfaction into our lives, filling that great longing and yearning we each have for the everlasting joy we feel is missing inside. Real devotion is one of the greatest secrets to finding our spiritual freedom in this lifetime. The feeling of it alleviates our suffering instantly, as it allows every action to feel sacred and aligned with our life purpose. It is the most essential nutrient necessary to create a truly exquisite life that is deeply fulfilling on all levels. The highest reward for an act of kindness is not what you get by doing it, but by what you become by doing it. Unknown. One of the great challenges with choosing a life of devotion is that we may fear losing ourselves in the beliefs, heart, mind, or life of our beloved. We might fall into some codependent relationship, feeling an addiction to them, where we may become obsessed by a need for their approval of our every action, belief, and life decision. In this unhealthy state, our beloved becomes like the sun, and we become the earth revolving around them. And when we remember that we are the sun, and our beloved is just another sun spirit we've met along the way, we can feel that they are actually revolving around our life as well. From this perspective, we experience what a healthy, devoted relationship is like. And these two bodies gravitationally spin around each other in a natural, respectful, meaningful, and magnetic way. In a healthy state of devotion, we are seeing the bigger picture. Our feet are rooted in the ground beneath us, and our branches are extended up and out into the stars. We are not clinging to anyone or anything. We are relaxed in our own essence, feeling alive, conscious, and appreciating each moment of existence. There is a great reverence each day we have to be in relationship with our beloved. We know it all can end at any moment, and thus never take it for granted. There is a solid feeling of connection to the love shared without depending on it to find the love within ourselves. In this healthy state of devotion, we feel connected with everyone and everything in our world. Love is one of the most dangerous explorations in this life because it is the most rewarding. In order to experience real love, we must choose to completely lose ourselves to it. We must choose to become so devoted to the real feeling of love, the essence of love, that is free from attachment, fear, and possession. We must choose to walk that very fine line between losing ourselves in a healthy or unhealthy way in a devoted relationship. We must take the risk to see ourselves as the beloved sees us, and know that it is our own innocent hearts we are longing to connect with when the day finally comes to an end. As long as our relationship with ourself remains the main priority, the relationship with ourself remains the main priority, we will remain in a healthy state of devotion. We will be aligned to our soul's purpose, and thus be able to show up with the greatest love to give. When we live in fear of losing ourselves to our beloved, there is this clinging to our ego. And we end up resisting love, fearing its power, and then not allowing our ego to surrender fully into it. As long as the ego remains in control, love will be kept on the sideline. When we realize that our heart is the main source of love, the infinite source of love itself, we can share this love endlessly and stop withholding it from others in our lives. As you walk the path of devotion, you might discover how the ego is an absolute genius at missing the truth. It cannot imagine that there is a bigger love to experience on the inside than what it thinks is on the outside. It is only through exploring total devotion to your soul, your spirit, and infinite self that the sacred meeting of deep eternal love is discovered between you and your beloved. This is the one vital truth to be realized that will let a continual stream of joy flow through your life. When you surrender completely to this infinite source that connects your heart with your soul, you will always rise and fall in love with your beloved. Then you can relax fully into the devotional experience. You are free from the fear of codependency and are no longer worried about becoming lost in the mind and the life of your beloved. You become so rooted in the exploration of deep eternal love within yourself that you can allow yourself to take risks. Love deeper. Be foolish in how much you love, and continuously fall further into love with your beloved over and over and over again. As you dissolve into love, your ego fades. You're not thinking about loving. You're just being love, radiating like the sun. Ram Dass. Every one of us wishes we had the courage to live a life overflowing with an abundance of joy and love. Yet, to reach this level of love means we must surrender through every fear we are gripping onto. We must choose to let go of control and trust that love is the greatest guide we will ever find. We must choose to devote our entire heart and mind to the idea and feeling of being in love with ourselves and our lives. This is the place where the heart never ever closes down for any reason whatsoever. When we are truly devoted to ourselves, to finding the greatest love within our own heart, we find that love was always there, always waiting to show us the way home. The other big issue everyone comes eventually across is that the ego is the most tenacious master at resisting love. It is always cautious and skeptical about falling in love and feels devotion is only for the weak and the needy. The ego simply doesn't trust love because if it felt what love really was, it would die. It would have to give up all its strategies for protecting itself from love and learn the path of surrender. The ego only knows control and separation, me versus you, and avoids falling into the ultimate state of love at all costs because it knows it has no control in that space. The more we can surrender to trusting love, the more we will find that love pours into every wounded crack and crevice hidden in our being. It is only through giving up our attachment to our ego that we can find what real love is all about. We must choose to lose our small self to discover our big self, which is constantly growing and evolving in love, always being reborn, fresh, and new. I'll join you in a meditation return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and then easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Feed yourself the purest love. You provide yourself with food to nourish and vitalize your physical vessel. Your heart and soul also need nourishment. Soften yourself into a connection with the feeling of infinite, deep, eternal love. Imagine it is happening to you right now. Imagine an eternal wellspring of deep, eternal love acceptance for whoever and whatever you are is flowing into you right now. Let it in. Let it into your heart even deeper. Allow the purest love you can imagine into your soul heart right now. Do this all day, and then watch